Das wird was in 2 Wochen, ne? Die Lügenpresse ist ahnungslos. Also die deutsche Lügenpresse weiß gar nichts, oder? Ich glaube original, die glauben das. Ich glaube, die lügen nicht. Die belügen sich selbst. Oh, das wird ein böses Erwachen. Es sei denn, es passiert noch irgendwas komplett Krasses, was durchaus möglich ist. In Clown World, everything is possible. Ja, ab und an McDonald's oder Herm. Ab und an. Wenn man gut aussieht. Wenn man sonst Sport macht und so weiter. Also jetzt nicht 3-mal die Woche oder so. Aber ab und zu geht. Muss sein. Das muss ein besonderer Treat sein. Darf Big Mike nicht hören, der hat es komplett abgeschworen. Der war früher auch Fan. Und der hat gesagt, wir machen das jetzt nicht mehr, Messias. Und ich so, ja, stimmt, okay. Stimmt. Wir gehen da nicht mehr hin. Und dann jetzt gehe ich immer heimlich hin. Alleine. Ab und zu. Ja, mit den Kids finde ich es auch ab und zu okay, weil ich finde es halt falsch, so eine Energie um etwas herum zu generieren, dass etwas komplett verboten ist und gar nicht geht und dass man schlau sein muss, sondern ein normaler Umgang damit und dass man nicht so eine verbotene Frucht daraus macht. Ich weiß, dass es falsch ist. Ich own es auch. Du kannst mich mobben, mich bullien, Big Mike. Du hast recht. Ich habe Unrecht. Aber ich habe einen Kindergaumen. Etwas Falsches tun, obwohl man weiß, dass es falsch ist. Wie nennt man das? Es ist eine Sünde, ja. Aber ich bin nicht perfekt, nur Jesus war perfekt. So, das hatten wir schon. Aber ich wollte euch das nochmal zeigen. Weil es halt so krass ist. Und wir gucken da jetzt auch mal rein. In diese. Es gab ja noch das andere, das Dinner. Al Smith Dinner. Kannte das eigentlich jemand? Das war ja so ein Dinner, wo er und sie waren. Ich glaube, das ist sowas wie das White House Correspondence Dinner oder sowas. Und da haben sie beide geredet. Und dann kommen wir nochmal zu der Fox-Nummer und McDonald's. Gucken wir dann auch nochmal. Das hier soll richtig geil gewesen sein. Ich finde ja, dass er gute Comedy-Qualitäten hat. Gute Comedian-Qualitäten. Er hat seinen komplett eigenen Stil, finde ich, Donald Trump. Und the delivery. Wie er die Pausen macht. Wie er dann die One-Liner bringt. Wie er rumguckt im Publikum. Es ist richtig Comedian-mäßig. Wenn Trump die Fritten macht, würde ich aber auch 1000% sofort essen. Als ob nicht. Stell dir vor, du kommst bei Mc's an und er guckt da raus. Hier, Donald Trump held nothing back at the Al Smith dinner in New York, even joking about Kamala Harris' husband's nanny issues. Ist das schön. Das gucken wir jetzt nochmal. Er ist der Beste. Und vor denen allen. Und ich habe gehört, es ist komplett savage, weil er hat keinen Witz über Kamala direkt gemacht. Er hat nicht sie direkt durch den Kakao gezogen. Wisst ihr, was das heißt? Es ist ihm egal. Er muss es gar nicht mehr. Er muss ihr gar nicht mehr an den Karren fahren. Nur ihrer Entourage. Potenzielle Nachfolger. Sie ist done. Chuck Schumer sitzt direkt daneben.
I used to think the Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods. But then I met Tim Walz. Well, I'd better wrap up.
Vielleicht soll ich mal die Kamera anmachen.
Then I met Tim Walz. Well, I'd better wrap up because Mayor Adams told me earlier that I needed to make this one very quick, especially the city has reserved this room for a large group of illegal aliens coming in from Texas.
Ihr müsst ihn gucken. Ihr müsst ihn gucken unter mir. Ey, guck, Junge. Ja, Junge.
Group called White Dudes for Harris. Have you seen this? White Dudes for Harris. Anybody know? Are some of you here? White Dudes for Harris doesn't sound like it. But I'm not worried about them at all because their wives and their wives' lovers are all voting for me. The major issue of this race is child care, and Kamala has put forward a concept of a plan. A lot of people don't like it. The only piece of advice I would have for her in the event that she wins would be not to let her husband, Doug, anywhere near the nannies. Just keep him away. That's a nasty one. Chuck Schumer is here looking very glum. Doesn't he look glum? He looks glum. But look on the bright side, Chuck, considering how woke your party has become. If Kamala loses, you still have a chance to become the first woman president.
Ja, schön. Sie hatte auch was vorbereitet, wo ich mir gedacht habe, was ist das denn? Wie schlecht ist das denn, Junge? Hier. Das war das, was sie vorher gedreht hatte. Da schreibt auch jemand, Kamala Harris Video for the Catholic L. Smith Dinner.
Cool. Oh, sorry.
Hey, what's going on? Who was that?
Oh, sorry, Mary Catherine Elliott. Mary Catherine Elliott. It's so nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Mary Catherine. Right now I'm trying to record my speech for tonight's dinner.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just want to say that I'm Catholic, and tonight is one of the biggest dinners next to the Last Supper.
It is a very important dinner, and it's an important tradition that I'm so proud to be a part of.
Sometimes when I get nervous, I stick my fingers under my arms and I simmer them like that. But that's gross.
So tell me something. I'm giving a speech. Do you have some thoughts about what I might say tonight?
My feelings about what you should say tonight would be best expressed in a monologue from one of my favorite made-for-TV series.
Okay, let's hear it.
Don't you see, man? We need a woman to represent us. A woman brings more heart, more
Alter.
compassion. And think how smart she must be to become a top contender in a field dominated by men.
Ich habe das noch nicht gesehen gehabt. Ist es deren Ernst? Das ist deren Promo? Erst sollte es so lustig sein, bisschen eine Knirsch-Katholikin darstellen und jetzt bettelt sie rum, wie schön es ist, eine Frau muss die Anführerin werden, weil es ist ein Feld, was von Männern dominiert wird, also gar nichts Inhaltliches, einfach nur, weil sie eine Scheide hat. Das ist ihre Promo für dieses Dinner.
It's time for a woman, bro. And with this woman, we can fly.
What series was that from?
Oh, that's from House of Dragons, now streaming on HBO Max.
Is there anything that you think that maybe I shouldn't bring up tonight?
Well, don't lie. Thou shalt not bear false witness to thy neighbor.
Indeed, especially thy neighbor's election results.
Just so you know, there will be a fact checker there tonight.
Oh, that's great. Who?
Jesus. And maybe don't
Was
say anything
soll
negative
das?
about Catholics.
I would never do that, no matter where I was. That would be like criticizing Detroit in Detroit.
Does it bother you that that Trump guy insults you all the time? Because it really bothers my friends and me.
Oh, Mary Catherine, it's very important to always remember you should never let anyone tell you who you are. You tell them who you are.
Was ist das für ein gestelltes Gespräch? Soll das lustig sein? Soll das ernst sein? Ich raff's überhaupt nicht. Ich raffe es gar nicht.
Haters gonna hate. Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Good for you, Mary Catherine.
Oh, yeah, okay. And also remember one more thing. Don't worry if you
Sie soll so ein bisschen minder bemittelt sein oder so? So eine typische Katholikin oder was?
make a mistake, 'cause Catholic people are very forgiving. Yeah, and also, one last thing I want to tell you, don't forget to say, superstar!
Thank you, Mary Catherine.
Thank you, Mamala.
Thank you.
Hä?
Your Eminence and distinguished guest. The Al Smith Dinner provides
Ihre Eminenz, also wahrscheinlich irgendein Erzbischof ist das. Hä, Junge? Ey, was soll das?
a rare opportunity to set aside partisanship and come together to do some good.
Ey, okay, it's over. It's over. Komm, lass einfach. Hier, das hatten wir auch. Ich habe eben schon die ikonischen Bilder von ihm gezeigt, aber hier ist es auch nochmal. The most iconic campaign of all time. Ist so, oder? Die Bilder. Männer lieben Bilder. Männer sind visuell. Dudes rock. Elon hat auch Town Hall Meeting gemacht. Stellt euch vor, ihr kommt da vorgefahren. Big Mike, einmal noch, oder? Wie würdet ihr reagieren? Literarisch. Ihr kommt da an und er guckt raus.
A lot of fun here, everybody.
Oh my God! Oh my
Look at all the fake news over there. Hello, everybody.
You can fake this,
And
right?
you know this is compliments of Trump, okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Yes.
please don't let the United States become Brazil, my native Brazil.
We'll keep
Please,
it good.
Please, please.
We're going to make it better than ever, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, Mr.
Compliments
President.
of Trump.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank
Das
you.
ist schön. Finde ich auch, Joshua.
Have a good
Er ist
time.
nur gut drauf. Er ist nur gut drauf. Ey, das Bild, wo er winkt,
A lot of fun here, everybody.
es ist vom Allerfeinsten. Einfach gut drauf. Er isst ja auch sehr gerne McDonald's. Er kriegt seine Energy von McDonald's, seien wir ehrlich. 2 Stunden schlafen und McDonald's.
I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again.
Thank you.
Look at that. Look at that. How are you?
Opa Lumpa noch vorbeigeschickt, Junge. Oh, Mr. President.
You made it possible for ordinary people like us.
You're not ordinary.
Das ist ja glorreich, ich habe das noch gar nicht gesehen.
I mean, thank you so much
You
for
are not
everything you're
ordinary.
doing.
I can see.
We pray for you, and you are the type of person we want to be the president.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So nice. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much. Yeah, I took a bullet. That's right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
When you think about it, I guess that's right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So,
I could do this all day.
er ist der worst Hitler ever, oder? Ja, aber hier in Deutschland sagt man, it's over für ihn. Also hier zerlegt Trump gnadenlos auf seinem Haussender und hier. Trump-Rede geht voll in die Hose. Ihr habt sie ja gerade gesehen, die 5 besten Witze. Ja, geht voll in die Hose, sagt die Bild-Zeitung, ist das oder was? Na gut. Make the right choice, America. Auch hier, Donald Trump gave me 7 Nuggets in my 6-piece order. Blessed. Ich bin gesegnet. Mr. President hat mir 7 Chicken McNuggets reingemacht statt 6. Ist er nicht süß? Hat er 7 reingemacht. Wie sie sich freut. Hashtag blessed. Ja, so macht man das. Da hilft kein Vogue-Cover. Das ist das echte Amerika, ne? Einmal im Mickey D's aus dem Fenster rausgeguckt und lieb gewunken. I want to speak to the manager. The manager? Ja, schön. Also einfach danke für die Memes. Ah ja, hier auch noch mal einmal Rotfunk. Wie kommt sowas zustande eigentlich? Wie kann man sich das vorstellen? Das Politbarometer beim ZDF. Wen haben die jetzt befragt, frage ich mich. Einfach ihr Publikum? So rufen sie an, wer wird Präsident? Oder sind das Zahlen aus den USA? Ich krieg 2016er Vibes, ne? Das war das Schönste. Sollen wir das Video als Final Video gucken? Das haben wir schon 1000-mal geguckt seitdem. Das ist für mich eines der Top 3 Feel-Good-Videos überhaupt. In the halls of a Trumpen President. Und ich fühle es schon wieder. Wobei ich sagen muss, ich bin ein bisschen vorsichtig, weil damals habe ich selber nicht gedacht, dass er es wird. 2020 habe ich gedacht, er wird's. Er wurde es nicht, weil sie ihm die Wahl geklaut haben. Jetzt ist es so, Rotfunk am Kopen, wie 2016. Ich glaube aber, er wird's. Was wird passieren? Die schlafen im Lacklager. Aber es ist doch wirklich krass. Jetzt diese Dinger 2 Wochen vorher rauszuhauen, finde ich fahrlässig. Weil es wird Tränen geben. Alleine das ist es ja wert. Der average Rotfunk guckende Normie ist ja komplett ahnungslos. Der denkt ja, it's over für Trump, ne? Fahrlässig. Wenn ihr mich fragt, kriminell. Das habe ich beim Miro geklaut. Ja, drüben wie hier. So ist es halt jetzt, ne? Früher eher links, heute rechts. Bei jungen Wählern ein besorgniserregender Trend basierter, hat er drüber geschrieben, also Shoutout an den Boy. Aber wir reden ja nicht nur hier von Almanien, sondern in den USA ist es ja genauso. Ja, Big Mike, hast du es jetzt gerade erst gesehen? Big Mike, glaube ich, mal kurz Pause gedrückt oder so, oder? Aber er hat 72%. Läuft. Rotfunk ist Orwell, ja. Das stimmt. That's why we call it Rotfunk. Ja, da haben wir das Lügenpresseblatt Nummer 1. Wobei die sich alle nicht viel nehmen, ne? Waffen-SZ und so weiter. Frankfurter Rundschau, selbst FAZ. Aber die Relotius-Presse ist doch schon was ganz Besonderes, ne? Enemy Number 2. Sie haben ihn auserkoren, sie wollen ihn wegmachen. Und wisst ihr warum? Ich glaube, Elon hat da selber auch was zu gepostet. Ich finde es halt krass fahrlässig, wie sie mit Trump und Elon umgehen. Elon auch wird im Prinzip ins Fadenkreuz gebracht von denen. Weil sie ja diesen ganzen Psychos, diesen ganzen Globo Homo MK-Ultra-Trans-Personen sagen, es ist okay, die abzuknallen. With their relentless hit pieces, legacy mainstream media are actively encouraging the assassination of @RealDonaldTrump and me. Ja, das hier ist vielleicht noch mal ganz interessant. Er hat sich den Spiegel genommen und das gepostet. Das hier ist ganz interessant, finde ich. Da hat er nämlich selber ein Townhall-Meeting gemacht. Es gibt auch das komplette Meeting bei ihm. Das geht irgendwie 1,5 Stunden oder so. Aber hier in diesem Clip, gibt mehrere Clips, da äußert er sich dazu.
I don't want to be in politics. I want to be clear. That is not my preference. I just like building stuff. I like building products that people love, and I derive joy from seeing people enjoy the products that my companies make.
Waren das die Nazis im Publikum? Ganz normale Leute, ne? Hätten auch auf der Buchmesse sein können. Gut, da, hier eine Magermütze. Also er macht richtig Wahlkampf, das finde ich echt krass. Dass Elon sich diese Zeit auch noch nimmt. Das ist komplett krass, aber ich glaube, er findet es so wichtig und er steht so krass dahinter. Ich weiß, es gibt auch Elon-Kritik, aber es ist jetzt so. Wollt ihr Bill Gates oder wollt ihr Elon? Beide nicht. Ihr könnt euch einen aussuchen. Eine andere Wahl gibt's jetzt nicht. Er zieht durch, er will, dass die Leute wählen gehen.
Like making products people love, and that's what I normally like doing, and I actually don't like politics at all. I hate politics.
Wer nicht?
But the stakes are so high here that I have had no choice but to take a stand. I don't want to be in politics.
Ja, da hat er es gesagt. I hate politics. Ich hasse nicht nur Politik, ich hasse sogar Demokratie. Hier sagt er das mit der Assassination, dass der Rotfunk und dass die Lügenpresse sie im Prinzip in Gefahr bringen.
Anyway, so dramatically increasing my risk of being assassinated and you know, and engaging in politics are not what I want to do. I do not have a death wish, but the stakes are so high that I feel I have no choice but to do it, and that's the reason. So.
Ich habe noch einen Banger. Wir gucken jetzt hier noch so ein bisschen Paul Joseph Watson. She got roasted. Let's fucking go.
Kamala Harris sat down for her first properly adversarial interview of the entire election campaign, and suffice to say it didn't go too well.
How many illegal immigrants would you estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years?
Well, I'm glad you raised the issue of immigration because I agree with you. It is a topic of discussion that people want to rightly have. And you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right now,
just a number. Do you think it's 1 million, 3 million?
Brett, let's just get
Das ist das, wo der Rotfunk und die Lügenpresse hier behauptet haben, sie hat Trump zerlegt. Das ist dieses Interview gewesen.
to the point.
Let's just get to the point.
Let's just get to the point.
Doesn't get to the point.
The point is that we have a broken immigration system that needs to be repaired.
So your Homeland Security Secretary said that 85% of apprehensions.
I'm not finished. We have
it's a rough estimate of 6 million people have been released into the country.
Didn't bring up that bill. Responding to the point you're raising,
okay.
And I'd like to finish.
You're literally avoiding the point.
I believe the Biden-Harris administration open border policies are responsible for the death of my daughter.
That's the early days.
But let's talk about what is happening right now with an individual who does not want to participate in solutions.
Blames Trump for something that happened directly as a result of her policy. Don't forget the main reason they all poured in.
Wie von Fox? Das ist Fox mit F, nicht mit V. Nicht verwechseln. Also Fox ist der konservative Sender dort, ja.
To America in the first place was her administration promising them free stuff and a path to citizenship. She doesn't even acknowledge they're criminals to begin with.
An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal.
An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal.
Taxpayer-funded transgender surgery for prison inmates.
Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
So are you still in support of using taxpayer dollars to help prison inmates or detained illegal aliens to transition to another gender? The Trump aides say that he never advocated for that prison policy and no gender transition surgeries
you know what, you got to take responsible for what happened
presidency.
in your administration.
Yeah, no surgeries happened in his presidency.
It didn't happen in his administration, but it will happen in yours. She still can't seem to grasp that Trump isn't responsible for what happened in the first 3.5 years of her administration.
More than 70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page.
Natürlich war sie nicht die Präsidentin, aber es ist die Administration von Biden und es ist Obama 3 und sie wird Obama 4.
You've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
No, we don't know what you're talking about, and quite clearly, neither do you. Running for president isn't the same as being in power. Why are you campaigning like you haven't been in the White House since 2021?
Your campaign slogan is a new way forward, and it's time to turn the page. You've been vice president for 3.5 years, so what are you turning the page from?
Well, first of all, turning the page from the last decade in which we've been burdened with the kind of rhetoric coming from Donald Trump.
The last decade of Donald Trump. He hasn't been in office for nearly half a decade. You have.
You call Donald Trump He's misguided. You say now
He's unstable. He is unstable, Brett.
He's not
So
well.
geil.
You say he's mentally not stable.
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told
Donald Trump is not stable. Genau. So sieht's nämlich aus. In der Twilight Zone.
many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff. When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
Joe Biden, I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room, and he has the judgment and the experience to do exactly what he has done in making very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
Joe Biden, no concerns raised?
You literally cooed Biden out of office for being in mental decline, and you can't say when you first noticed he was in mental decline.
Why, if he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States? Why is that happening? So are they misguided, the 50%? Are they stupid? What is it?
I would never say that about the American people. And in fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people.
Oh, you wouldn't demean and belittle 50% of Americans for voting for Trump. No, never. Yet literally the previous day you called Donald Trump a fascist.
Donald Trump is about taking us backward.
The other is about fascism. Why can't we just say it?
Yes, we can say that.
You claim they're voting for a fascist who will end democracy. Then 24 hours later claim you're not belittling them. Trump nailed it when he said Kamala spent most of the interview externalizing her obsession with him and barely talking about any actual issues. But leftists immediately rushed in with a massive cope wave.
This was the most adversarial interview Kamala Harris has probably ever done. Instead of getting to debate Trump again, she got to debate Bret Baier. And a lot of viewers are going to come away saying, wow, she's willing to do that. That's a sign of toughness and strength.
Toughness and strength. She talked in circles, failed to take any responsibility for anything that happened under her watch, and came off it looking like a complete imbecile. But they claimed Kamala came across really well and answered all the questions. Really? That's not what the betting markets indicated. On Polymarket, Harris sunk another percentage point immediately after the interview concluded. But apparently it was a home run.
That was a home run because she sent the one message that needs to be sent, which was, I will go anywhere at any time and show the courage necessary to speak to every American, because that's what a real president does.
Rogan coming up. Also ich glaube nicht, dass es passieren wird, aber sie hat ja sogar signalisiert, sie will zu Rogan.
The primary critique against her prior to this point was that she was not doing enough interviews. No one thought that the Fox News interview was going to go swimmingly every step of the way. Everyone knew it would be adversarial, but she showed exactly what she needed to show, which was that she is a leader.
Really? Then why were no less than 4 Kamala campaign staffers desperately flailing around their arms trying to end the interview?
Dana, you've been on the other side. You've been on the rapper as a press secretary interviewing
Ich finde, sieht so geil aus. Ich finde, sieht so krass conservative American-mäßig aus. Sieht eigentlich aus wie eine Karikatur. Ich lieb's.
President, and you know, I'm talking like 4 people waving their hands, like it's got to stop. So Martha, I had to dismount there at the end. There's so many things, and she maybe should do more of these. Madam Vice President,
and
they're giving me a hard rap.
Well, I thank you for the time.
I thank you for the time.
It's good to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
They'd already whittled down the interview length by turning up late.
You know, when the kicker in football, they call a timeout right before he's going to kick the field goal. They're icing the kicker. So we were supposed to start at 5 p.m. This was the time they gave us. Originally, we were going to do 25 or 30 minutes. They came in and said, well, maybe 20. So it was already getting whittled down. And then the vice president showed up about 5:15. We were pushing the envelope to be able to turn it around for the top of the 6 o'clock.
But yeah, she's so brave and courageous for... Checks notes. Doing a 25-minute interview with a major broadcaster 3 weeks before the election. Wow, so brave. We haven't witnessed such levels of bravery since Jesus Christ himself was crucified. Now, of course, you'd expect one side to claim that this was a train wreck and the other side to claim that Kamala put in a stellar, brave performance. But take note of which side is actually playing the clips. Now we know why they've been wrapping her in cotton wool for months and only allowing her to do cupcake softball interviews. Because as soon as she faces any heat whatsoever, she totally implodes.
This is a democracy.
And if you think this was bad, wait until she goes on Joe Rogan. Rogan's obviously not going to be as combative as Bear was, but watching Kamala engage in long-format, nuanced conversation beyond sound bites and blaming everything on...
Das war auch mein Take. Ich glaube noch nicht mal, dass er ihr groß eine Falle stellen würde, aber er würde wissen wollen, was abgeht bei ihr und eine echte Unterhaltung führen wollen mit ihr. Und das kann sie nicht. Sie kann keine Stunde sich unterhalten. Selbst wenn sie jetzt nicht 3 Stunden hingeht. 1 Stunde, 1,5 Stunden, das kriegt sie nicht hin. Wie soll das gehen?
Trump really is going to be a sight to behold.
Ja, das war das. Ich mache euch jetzt noch was an. Wer erinnert sich? 2016. Wer fand Trump schon cool, bevor es cool war? Wer kriegt immer noch Gänsehaut? Der erste Meme-War. Das war der Vibe. Ich kriege Gänsehaut, wenn ich das sehe. Let's do it again. In 2 Wochen.
Donald Trump, just last week, he confirmed to the National Review that he is again considering a run in 2016.
Do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
Which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Of the declared ones, right now, Donald Trump.
Gänsehaut. Gänsehaut. Es war so eine schöne Zeit.
Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point. At real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump. At least I will go down as a president.
So right now we have Hillary's about a 75 or an 80% favorite. We have different versions of the forecast you can look at.
The poll has Hillary Clinton up by double digits nationally, 12 points, 50 to 38, a four-way race.
Clinton leading in Florida, Clinton leading in North Carolina, Clinton leading in Ohio, Clinton leading in Nevada. I could go on and on and on.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
And so, right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say, you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy.
We have a major projection right now. Donald Trump will take Ohio. And CNN projects Donald Trump will carry the state of Florida. Huge win for Donald Trump. Donald Trump, we project, will win in Kentucky, in Indiana, with its 11 electoral votes. West Virginia, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, North Dakota, with its 3 electoral votes, and South Dakota, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, the state of Montana, North Carolina, Georgia, Iowa, Utah, Wisconsin, Arizona, Kansas with its 6 electoral votes, Nebraska with its 5 electoral votes, and Wyoming with its 3 electoral votes.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business.